Welcome to another episode of Mindful Mali with me, Mali Kaluve, a spirituality podcast focused on growth and self-discovery, a space where none are judged and all are welcome as we all strive to become better versions of ourselves. And if it is your first time listening to the podcast, I just want to say a big welcome. And for anybody who's constantly been listening to the podcast, I just want to say thank you so much for all the love and support. I really do appreciate it so much.
It's been a while. It's actually been since like October, which is absolutely crazy. But just a little bit of an update. I moved. I am no longer in Kenya. I am in the US of A. We're not gonna talk about it. I just wanted to put that out there. I still love home so much. So much. I often miss it. But I'm just grateful for a new beginning and a new start. And honestly, it was one of the hardest changes I've had to make and hardest decisions I had to make, because change is easy when you have nothing to lose or there's not much going for you, which has been the case a lot of the time. We're always like, there's no problem when you're having a bad day to be like, I'm gonna shave my head off and start a new beginning, because at that point you've hit rock bottom and like there's nowhere but up to go. But when you're like in the process of growing or like moving forward and you're not in a bad place, and when I say you're not in a bad place, like you are at a good level of I have been growing, but now you need to hit the next level of your journey or wherever you're going. And then you realize, whoa, this next decision, I have a lot more to lose. And that was the situation I found myself in, because I had a job that was pretty impressive for me to have at the time, just because I was like 19. I'm saying this like I'm like 50 years older than that. Like I'm just 20 now, but I was 19. I had a job that honestly a lot of people didn't think I would have got at the time. And it was just getting better. Like it was only improving at that point. It was now like, here we go. But then I had to remind myself that there was a bigger vision that I had for myself. Like there is something that I wanted to achieve. And it's great sometimes to want to follow like the heat of the moment, the spice, the shiny object in front of you that is going great or appears to be going great. But you always have to remind yourself about the bigger picture. And my bigger picture was I needed to make a certain decision that involved me moving, so that I could learn and develop the skills I needed to develop English. The skills I needed to develop. Guys, that is a hard word. Develop. There we go. In order for me to take a step closer to the goal that I wanted to hit or achieve. And a lot of people find themselves in that spot. Like I've come across a lot of people so far that are in similar situations, or people who just got out of a situation like that. I also had the privilege to talk to people who remained focused on the shiny object and just kept pushing with it. And it didn't turn out good in the end. I mean, they're now getting themselves back up there and doing what they love and want to do. But it's always like, I wish I had just stuck to my plan. Now, I'm not saying every plan should be like set in stone, because things happen, things change. There's always new encounters. But you have to think about like as a whole. You know, there's those ones for like the plans change because circumstances have changed for the better and rah. But it's like, what I'm doing right now, where I am right now, is it going to get me to where I want to go? And that's like the question I had to battle and ask myself. And I finally realized like, yes, this is the best decision for me. Now here's the thing about the best decision for me and making that change and doing what it is you need to do to reach the next level. It doesn't always feel great. Because like I said, with this new change, unlike the others I've like been doing, I had a lot to lose. Great job. I'm moving from my home country. If I looked at it, a lot of good things were unfolding and coming to fruition, but they just were not where I wanted to be or where I wanted to go. They were great things, but not like my things. The things that I wanted to do. The goals that, I'm trying to hit. And when I moved and I got here, it was difficult. I felt terrible because there's always going to be that question of like, did I really make the right decision? Like, did I really do what is best? And it did kind of like bring me down for a while, but then I realized the truth is I'll never know. I know like sometimes we wait for this point. I feel like at this point you guys are used to it, where I give an answer, but the truth is there's no like right answer. There's no like, yes, you definitely made the right decision, the perfect one, you go for it. It's not always like that. You realize that the whole process of growing, the whole process of like reaching a certain point, it's more about like reflecting, thinking about it, having your goal in mind, but appreciating the moment and realizing that you made the best decision that you could make for yourself at the time, and you keep going from there. It's like an endless journey of realizing, learning, correcting, and changing. So it's like, yes, I've reached this point. I'm not sure if that was the best decision or if it wasn't, but like I'm confident that like I trust myself. I trust myself enough to know that I'm taking myself in the right direction. And that's because I have been growing myself. I have been working on myself so that I could be at this point where I can be like, yeah, I might be in the dark right now, not know where I'm stepping down, if there is anything underneath my feet to catch me, but I trust myself. And that's like one of the most important things. Trust yourself. You may not trust other people. You may not trust what people have to say. You may not know where it is you're going and all that stuff. But like, trust yourself, your intentions, and what you want for yourself. And that's where you find that comfort in change. It doesn't make change any easier, but that's the thing. Nothing guarantees a easier way out or transition or stuff like that. It's all about just realizing that the more you have these like practices within yourself or good thinking habits, the better it is to handle the change, no matter how difficult it is. And it's taken time. It's been a process, and honestly, if you ask me, I'm still on that journey of truly realizing or understanding what's going on. But I'm going with the flow. I'm trusting the process. I'm trusting myself to maneuver myself through this process. I'm taking time to journal, reflect, understand what's going on within me, and working on that, because the outside is a reflection of the inside. The more I'm working on the inside and I'm making myself a better guide for myself, the more I can trust in the decisions, my intuition, and stuff like that. So I'm glad I'm back. You guys are absolutely amazing. I appreciate each and every one of y'all. You are great. You are beautiful. You are stunning. Be kind to yourself. Be loving. Be caring. And most of all, take care.